Let's go. 올해도 다시 보는 Christmas tree 기다렸던 날이 찾아온 건지 거리 곳곳을 환히 밝히고 난 오늘도 내일도 Christmas Day 아름다운 조명들로 환하게 네 손엔 꽃향기로 가득해 다시 볼 너의 예쁜 미소가 벌써부터 나를 설레게 해 With you, shawty with you With you, shawty with you With you, beautiful Christmas day
Jimin POV. After 2 hours on the train, I finally reached Daegu and was now making my way outside. I had messaged Yoongi Hyung about my arrival today, but I didn't know if I should expect someone to pick me up or just take a cab to the place I knew as my second home. Still, I decided to take a look at the little crowd standing outside to pick up someone to see if I could see someone I knew or someone with my name card. And thankfully, I did take a look as there he was, my only Hyung, looking as grumpy as ever, as if so done to be standing in the crowd that he would want to be anyone but here. But I knew him and knew he came here for me himself, and no one had told him to. He is such a sweet Hyung, though he loves to show the world otherwise, but I know him. So with a bright smile on my face, I ran straight to him, screaming aloud, "Hyung!" to catch his attention, which it did as he broke into one of these grumpy smile, which is only reserved for a very few, including me, with his arms wide open for me. I jumped on him as I reached him, making him chuckle as he still caught me in his arms. After all, no matter how old I get, I am still going to be his little Dongsheng. Anyways, after our little reunion, he helped me with my bags and drove us home first so that I can settle in and rest a bit. Jikook POV. We have finally reached Daegu with Taehyung complaining about how I made him walk too much for the day and how he was done with walking for the day. If I made him walk anymore today, then he is going to tell Hyung on me, which I know would do nothing much. But yeah, Hyung loves me more than him. As we made it out of the station, we saw a man in a suit holding a board with our names on it, so we walked up to him. "Young Master John and Young Master Kim?" he asked, to which we nodded as a reply. "Oh, I am Lee Yoojin. I am going to help you around with anything you need here. It's such a pleasure to have you both here, younger masters." "The pleasure is ours. Also, we are sorry for making all these sudden changes, but I hope you have kept it all away from my dad?" "Oh yes, we have done everything as you said and didn't utter a word to your father." "Thank you, Mr. Lee. Can we go already?" It was Taehyung who wanted the day to be over already. Yes, please follow me. I'm sorry for making to keep standing here all this time." With that, we made our way towards the car that will take us around here in Daegu with Mr. Lee. "So, younger master, what would you like to do first?" Mr. Lee asked, after a while of us being on the road. "We would like to go collect the things that needs to be donated and then go and get it all done so that we can be free to be on our way to Busan," Jungkook replied, as Taehyung was dozing in and out of sleep already. "We can do as you say, but there is a slight problem. We had all the things stored inside our office storage room, neatly to not get anything damaged, as it has been snowing here from time to time for a couple of days now. And as you called just a few hours ago today, informing all the changes, the gifts are not yet prepared completely to be given out to the kids in the orphanage you are to visit. It will at least take a few more hours. So if you don't mind, I can drop you off at our hotel so that you can rest and inform you when everything is prepared, and then I can pick you up again and drop you off at the orphanage with the gift and a few people to help you give it out to the kids?" Before Jungkook could answer, Taehyung muttered "Yes please, I need to rest," in his sleep. Jungkook chuckled, seeing the elder's behavior. "Sounds good, Mr. Lee. Let's do as you suggested." And so they were dropped at one of the hotels that were under the dawns for them to rest, with Mr. Lee off to get the things ready as per said. Another few hours passed. It was currently something around 4 p.m. Jungkook and Taehyung both were passed out on their beds when suddenly Jungkook woke up hearing a few constant knocks at their room door. He made his way towards the door and pulled it open only to come face to face with Mr. Lee. "Oh, Mr. Lee, you here? Is everything done?" Yes, young Master Jian. And everything is prepared. We just need you and young Master Kim's presence now, so that we can be on our way to the orphanage." "Okay, Mr. Lee. If you don't mind, can you come in and wait for a while as I wake Hyung up and get ready too? Jungkook replied, stepping aside to let Mr. Lee inside. Mr. Lee was obligated to enter inside with a small "take your time" in reply. He makes his way to take a seat on a couch that was there in the suite living room, while Jungkook made his way into the bedroom area to wake Taehyung up. After not-so-whines and complaints from Taehyung, Jungkook finally managed to wake him, and they both were soon all freshened up and ready to head out. "Okay, Mr. Lee, we are ready to head out." With a nod, Mr. Lee made his way outside with the two following right behind him with their bags. They locked their room and handed their keycard back to Mr. Lee. Mr. Lee tried to help them carry their bags, but they refused as it wasn't much. With that, they started making their way out of the hotel when Jungkook asked Mr. Lee to tell them about their remaining schedule in Daegu. "Well, not much is remaining for you guys to do. From here, we will go to the orphanage directly, and I'll drop you both there along with a few helpers to help you around with handing out the gifts. Then you will have a couple of hours to spend in the orphanage. That is, if you want to. Normally, Elder Young Master always does it, but it is up to you. You can then call whenever you're done, and I'll come to pick you both up and take you to the station. But there is a slight pro. Why is it snowing so heavily suddenly? There wasn't even any snowfall when we arrived, isn't it, Hyung?" Jungkook asked, as soon as he saw the heavy snowfall when they stepped outside the hotel. Taehyung just shrugs in reply. That is actually the problem I am talking about. Well, you see, as I said before, there was snowfall occurring from time to time for a few days now over here. Today, there was snowfall in the morning before you both arrived, and it had stopped too. But then some while after I left you guys in the hotel, it started snowing again. At first, I didn't think much, but just to make sure I decided to check the weather. And it showed that there is going to be a very heavy snowfall till no exact time estimated. Or Mr. Lee said with a sigh, after all of them, very settled in this car and on the way to the orphanage. "Do you think we should look for an early train?" Jungkook asks. "I know what you are thinking. Younger masters, and honestly, I would have done it if I could. But the thing is, that is the only train to Busan, so all we can do now is wait and pray that the snowfall stops soon. Or else, if it continues this way, the tracks will be blocked and the train might get cancelled also. The flights are already stopped because of it. So there is nothing we can do. Well, if it is so, let's hope that it stops soon." Jungkook replies with a sigh. It's okay, Mr. Lee. There is nothing that we can do. So let's just enjoy the time here and stop stressing about it. Also, how much more time to reach?" For the first time, Taehyung said, after only listening to their conversation all this time. 20 mins to the max, and rightly said young Master Kim. If there is any more changes or any update or anything, I'll tell you guys. To know until then, enjoy your time in the orphanage with the kids. Elder Young Master John and Young Master Jin love it there, so I am sure you guys will too. "Okay, thank you, Mr. Lee, for all your help." "Thank you," Jikook and Taehyung replied simultaneously.